and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today's episode, I want to talk about the Record of Lodoss Wars. Now, the Record of Lodoss Wars is not really one of the, shall we say, newer animes that are out there, but it recently came to my attention that there was a little bit of data mining for the Langrisser Mobile game. It is heard, the rumors have it as the Record of Lodoss Wars is going to be the next collab, the event, a crossover event that they're going to be doing for that mobile game. That's sort of how that topic got brought up, and then of course, I was concerned. Well, is it going to be the OEVA version or is it going to be the TV version? Of course, the best version is the OEVA version. So that's got my sort of so memories going over the Record of Lodoss Wars. And again, if you talk to anybody who's in that sort of era of of anime, and looking for a good adventure Dungeons and Dragons type of anime, or that sort of RPG kind of anime, then people will always recommend Record of Lodoss Wars as being one of the top ones there. So in today's episode, I want to go over two sort of stories about Record of Lodoss Wars that are particularly specific for me. One of them I've sort of mentioned already, and as you know, the Record of Lodoss Wars was one of the first titles that we began doing the subtitles for. It was when when we were doing the Orange Road and all that kind of stuff, and of course we really got into Record of Lodoss Wars. And we did subtitle the entire 13 episode series before Central Park Media picked it up, and then we discontinued it. But one of the funny stories happens is that the way that the story of the tapes got released was basically the first 4 episodes were on one, and the next 3 were on the next one, because it was 1 through 4, and then 5 through 7. Okay, now. What I did was when I was doing the subtitling is episode 7 was going to be the last episode that was going to be on that particular tape before we broke the tape into the next volume. Okay, because there was 13 episodes in the first set. So what at that time I ordered a lot of the soundtracks and that kind of stuff for Record of Lodoss Wars, and it just happened that on the volume 3 of the Record of Lodoss Wars soundtrack, there was a particularly interesting English version of the Record of Lodoss Wars song. So you gotta remember at this time, it wasn't English dubbed in the U.S. yet. It still hasn't been released in the U.S. yet. So there, a lot of you people who listen to the English dub version of Record of Lodoss Wars know that there's this, a newer version of the song that was dubbed in English. Okay, not referring to that version. Okay. The version I'm referring to is on the soundtracks for Record of Lodoss Wars, okay? And it sounds a little different because it's not sung by a native English speaker, okay? So, it's got some interesting words and interesting pronunciations of certain words that you can only hear in that particular song. But it was in English, okay? So what I did is, as a little bit of a poke and a little bit of a joke, was I decided, okay, for the opening theme song of the Record of Lodoss Wars, I'm going to overdub it with the English version. So, for episode 7, since it was going to be the last one on this particular volume, instead of having the traditional Japanese opening theme song subtitled in English, I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the Japanese audio with the English audio off of this song that's on the CD. And I put that in there, cut it, and basically made that the opening theme song, okay? And of course, the comments that came over the over Usenet and the emails and that kind of stuff that came back saying, "Oh my God, this song sounds absolutely horrible," and it's like, what the hell are they doing? And it's like, and basically a lot of people basically fell for this joke, not realizing that this version actually comes off of the CD. So again, if you ever come up with a fan sub of a version and you want to actually take a listen to it, take a listen to the CD version of the opening theme song, and then you'll quickly see the difference between the newer revised version, which is actually sung by an English speaker. So that's one of the funny things that we did for Record of Lodoss Wars when we were doing the fan subs for that. Okay, the other story, number 2, is a story that popped up when I was doing the YouTube collab with the Happy Console Gamer, okay, And we were talking about, well, how did you get the name the King of Smut? And of course, I've explained that story about how we used to go to conventions and we used to get doujinshis and stuff. And then his question was, Johnny's question to me was, what's the most, what's one of the most rarest or most expensive doujinshi do you have? Okay, and my answer was the Record of Lodoss Wars. Okay, and I spent like $100 on it. So anyway, this is the particular doujinshi in question. Okay, I picked this up at the San Diego Comic Con. Okay, it's called La Danse de la Fille. Okay, the dance for a fee, right? And the title, of course, is Renju 3, drawn by the doujin artist Sonnet Lucretia. Okay, and so so that's the front and that's the back of that particular thing. Okay. Now I paid $100 US, okay, at the time for this thing, and I got, a lot of people saying, "Holy crap, that's a lot of money for just a fan drawn comic," because that's what doujinshi is. It's basically some fan who likes this particular drawing decides that hey, it's popular, so I'm going to draw up this doujinshi, and then basically they bring it to a comic and they sell it pretty cheap, and I'm sure. I'm thinking it was Peter Payne probably got it. I'm sure he probably got it for like, probably like 1,000 yen or maybe 20 yen, 2,000 yen or about $20. I'm probably sure that's probably what he did. But of course, he took the effort, of course, to smuggle it from Japan all the way into the U.S. Okay. And of course, yeah. So, and then of course, because of its, because of its content and because of what it is, they really jacked the price up on it and said, okay, yeah, Elf, at this time, of course, you can't just go to Google or whatever and do type in like elf porn or something, and then you'll see a whole bunch of stuff come up on like Pornhub or something like that, or PornTube or something, whatever. And there you go, right? This is an era where the internet wasn't as fast as that, and even pictures took minutes to download. Okay, so no, we don't have these things called scam-nations and all this other stuff going on, right? So the only way you could really get something like this, you would have to actually purchase it. But of course, the doujin artists in Japan are only just selling these things in very low quantities at their conventions and that kind of stuff and whatnot. It just happens that these copies do trickle over, and so the rarity of these things at conventions and stuff, especially over here, is very rare. So again, to come across this kind of material, for example, in this case, elf stuff, okay, shall we say, is tough. And again. If you have a chance to look this title up and you try to find some details of it, you'll see why, okay? And a very big warning right here. Do not Google this while you're at work, okay? Trust me, you'll know why. Anyway, so those are my two stories for Record of Lodoss Wars, okay? So, what you want to do right now is go down below and press like and press subscribe, okay? So that way when I give new episodes and more stories about the anime and whatnot, and of course more stories about Langrisser Mobile, then you will know when those the new videos come out, okay? So I'm still plugging away at my paradise, so hopefully more videos of that as I get hopefully a little bit better. It's tough at my age, So, until next time, I will see you again.